Hey you all, welcome back. My name is Joe, and in today's video I will be working on this dresser and showing you how I transform this 5 drawer chest into a pretty farmhouse bohemian style. It's pretty beaten up, so I will be sanding it down and then painting it. So I started with removing the hardware on this piece. I kept it aside because I will be using it later on. And then removing all the dust from the drawers. Then I removed the drawers out and just the basic cleaning using my shop vac. So this is what I did with the complete dresser, removing all the 5 drawers out and cleaning and prepping it for painting. And then comes my favorite part of sanding. Yes, I love sanding my pieces down because I feel that is the most crucial and essential step before we start to paint any furniture. So this is one step that I would never skip. So after sanding it down with a 220 grit and using a sanding block, I cleaned it all down with a baby wipe and just making it ready to paint. So the dresser is all sanded down, and now cleaning it with a baby wipe. I use multiple wipes to clean out my dresser. If I feel that it is overloaded with dust, then I change the wipe. You can also use plain tap water, spray it out and clean with a paper towel or a lint-free rag just to keep it free of any chemicals. I painted it in 2 coats of fusion mineral paint. I mixed 2 colors to bring it to this tone of very light blue, and I simply applied 1 coat using water to give it a cottage, a distressed kind of a look naturally, so that I don't have to use the sander later on to distress. So as you can see, I went in horizontal and vertical direction to give that kind of a finish to this dresser. So the painting is finished. Now we will move on to designing. For this, I'm using Decor Poly. You can see it's long, so perfect for the drawer. It's gorgeous. Details are very pretty on this poly. These poly are versatile. You can bend them. You can mold them for different kind of surfaces. Um, they are paintable. You can even use it in metallic paint or gold leaf. So to apply this, secure this onto the drawer, I'm using Gorilla Wood glue, putting a little bit on the back of the poly and spreading it with a crafts brush just to make sure that it covers the entire back of the poly before I secure it onto the drawer. So just place it where you want it to go and press it down and leave it to dry. I'll leave it to dry and move on to the next step, which is stenciling. I'm using this large stencil Anissa for designing the entire dresser. So this is fusion mineral paint to whiten color and roller from Redesign that I'll be using today. As you see, the drawers are flat, they are long, so I am starting from the left hand side and adding the stencils over it. So to do so, I just take a little bit of paint onto the roller to make sure it doesn't smudges and go on over the stencil very slowly, making sure that I'm covering as much part of the stencil as I want the design to go on. So slowly on every single drawer, I just went over, and once I felt that, the design was there, I just pulled it out and I just loved how it looked. And I went on the right hand side, aligning the stencil and just going over the same process on the front of the remaining drawers. So the fronts are done. Now we will move on to the side. I put the stencil and use the same technique of aligning the stencil and moving downwards. I um, did some faded stencil. That's what I call, because I don't make the stencil appear very prominent on the furniture. So I leave some spots, and some spots I put more pressure, some spots I will not put pressure. So that's how I call it a faded stencil kind of a look. So here comes a very different kind of a technique or situation. You can say I mixed some white paint in water in the ratio of 1:5, which was very runny, and I applied it over the drawers and the sides. I mean the complete dresser, like one thin coat after my stencils dried, and then dabbed it and wiped it out just to give a whitewash over this dresser. So it's not a blue, but it's kind of a faded blue dresser, very cottage farmhouse kind of a look that I wanted to. And I'm really glad that I did this, because the finish is superb and gorgeous. You can leave a comment below and let me know what you feel about the technique, and how did you find the before and after. Thank you so much for watching. See you with another video soon. Take care. Bye.